All right, going live in 3, 2, 1. And we are live for another streaming Alternative Money Mondays here on YouTube. Glad to be back. Great to see all these familiar faces. Love to see those smiles and just love to be here in general. Great to see everybody out in the YouTube audience. My name's Jeremy. I'm the co-founder of Ledgerama, the builders of Wallawallet, the original, the safest, and the trusted mobile wallet in the HBAR ecosystem. As usual, I am joined by our community manager, my man in Kenya, Tim Mungai, Caitlin Lance from the Creative Coast, where we create, code, and collide here in the coastal lowland area of Georgia and surrounding cities. My partner and our CTO over at Ledgerama, Rob Keynes, the lead developer of Wallawallet, the wizard behind the curtain, so to speak. And of course, my favorite influencer in the HBAR ecosystem, bar none, Brandon the HBAR Bull. Welcome back, everybody.
Thank you.
All right, so another exciting week. We got some great news for some people. We got great news for the Walla mobsters out there. So I don't know if people have seen the Walla mob kind of that language being used out there. If you didn't know why we're calling our crew the mobsters, so a group of wallabies or a group of kangaroos is called a mob. So just like there's a parliament of owls and a pack of wolves, it's a mob of wallabies. So we got the Walla mob out there. Let's see. So yeah, we got some great news. We're going to do some token giveaways and have a good time. What you got, Rob? I can see it.
Well, I noticed from, I didn't realize this until the other day, but there is some wallabies out there smoking crack or something. It looks like from some of the pictures that I saw, right? I don't know. It looks like they're smoking and they're doing something. I just wanted people to know that, none of that's going on here while the code is being written.
Yeah, right. Yeah, that wallaby. Yeah, that was we're getting a little
that was my doing. That was my doing. I started being silly.
Yeah, not a big fan of the connotations there, but
and obviously that was definitely not crack. That was a blunt, but
okay.
Crack looked a little bit different.
So much better.
That's so much better.
Exactly.
I mean, hey, at least the blunt's legal in a lot of states in California, a lot of states in the United States. The crack, not so much. Anyway, all right, a wild start to another Alternative Money Monday. But anyway, so we're going to jump right into the market Mondays. What have you got for us, Brandon? How have the past 7 days looked in these crazy crypto markets?
Yeah, sure. So the end of last week, we saw a bit of a risk off. We saw a huge rally in stocks and risk assets in the middle part of the week. It dropped off in the second part of the week. Bitcoin over the past 7 days is up about 1%. Over the past 24 hours, down about 1%. The HBAR is up about 6% over the past 7 days, down almost 2% over the last day, but still looking pretty good. I think there was a lot of excitement around the ABRDN addition to the governing council member, or a new governing council member, and we also had drop integration with Shopify. We've talked about that recently, and we also had the volume on the Hedera network jump up. Right now we have about 2 million transactions over the past 24 hours. And recently we've been sitting at about 1. So we've pretty much doubled, but over the weekend it got even more crazy with, 24-hour volumes of around 5 to 6 million. So pretty impressive there. Not exactly sure what it's caused from. I know Hedera tweeted out a step function. I don't know if this is exactly what the community was expecting as far as a step function, so I hope there's a lot more to come, but still exciting to see, and I think that helped out the HBAR market over the weekend. So again, up about 6% over the past week.
And so as far as headlines, you mentioned ABRDN coming online as a Hedera council member. So can you talk a little bit about ABRDN and is that really any of the highlights you got for the past 7 days? Interested to hear what you got.
Sure. So ABRDN is an investment firm over in the UK. They have about $500 billion of assets under management. So they're no joke. They're not the biggest in the world. We got BlackRock. They have like 8 trillion under management, but still a pretty impressive company. And they also are looking to utilize Hedera, like a lot of our council members utilize Hedera in some of their offerings, whether that's security offerings or tokenizing their funds or something along those lines. So that's what they were talking about. That's certainly exciting. And as I mentioned, the thing with Drop is our micropayments platform, or the premier micropayments platform in the Hedera ecosystem. They're used by all kinds of applications in our space. Inara is one of them. to facilitate micropayments, and Shopify, a $50 billion company, is allowing merchants to use Drop in their application. So that's certainly really exciting. And I know there's some rumors about, well, not rumors, it was Drop that actually mentioned it, that WordPress is also going to integrate Drop some way. I'm going to get some more information about that midweek. I'm going to be interviewing Sushil, the CEO of Drop. So hopefully I'll be able to get some more information on that. We have, Karate Combat. We did a ticket giveaway over this last week. It's a new sports league that's hitting the scene really, really hard. They are offering tokens to be able to manage their entire league, essentially. It's called the Karate Token. And I might actually be going down to their next event, Karate Combat 36. So hopefully I'll be able to get some content out around that. We have @MyO is
where's that going to be, the Karate Combat? Where's that going to be, the event? Do you know offhand?
It's going to be in Orlando, down in Florida. Yep.
All right.
Yeah, so
All
not
right.
too far. If you guys were, we've already done a giveaway of 5 tickets. We might do some more if we can get a few more out. So I know you guys are down in Georgia. It's not too far. If you guys want to make a run down, you're more than welcome. Yeah, there's all kinds of news. We can certainly tease out other things like @MyO getting into a deal with SAP. Of course, that's not directly related to Hedera, except for Hedera is an option on @MyO. Yeah, so just exciting stuff all around.
Awesome. Yep. Good news. Yeah, and great to see Sean Trainer and the folks over at drop.cc, getting some recognition. I mean, just a really stellar team. So for folks that may not know, they're from Open Crowd, which is also the developers of the Dragon Glass mirror node, which I've been told is not technically a mirror node, but I'm still going to call it a mirror node anyway. But yeah, so the builders of Dragon Glass, I mean, just a stellar team, and that's really a breakthrough. I mean, when you think about, a Hedera micropayments wallet being offered on a multi-billion-dollar platform like Shopify. I mean, that's not some obscure name that, down at the bottom of the list that you've never heard of. I mean, this is Shopify, right? So to see them get some recognition there is a huge step forward.
Hey,
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm just going to say the council meetings are going on too right now, right? In Dubai? Or
Yeah, I think it already took place over the weekend. Yeah, it was
over the
exciting to
weekend.
see.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. So do we know anything else that came out of it? I mean, they said some big news was going to come out, right?
All we know is one of the council member representatives tweeted out that some big news came out of it, but we don't know what that is yet.
Okay.
So an announcement for an announcement.
Gotcha. All right. So for the folks that are out there in the YouTube audience, chomping at the bit, waiting because they know that there's some HBAR coming their way, I'll go ahead and say right now, if you're still tuned in out there in the YouTube audience, don't go away, because I'm going to give out a magic number. And if you've been here before, you know the routine. You got to I'm going to give a magic number at some point in the show. Then you're going to take that magic number, you're going to email it. You can put it in the subject of the email, or you can put it in the body of the email. It's up to you. We'll see it one way or the other. You put that magic number, email it to info@wallawallet.com. And the first email that comes in, the person that sends us that email is going to win $25 in HBAR. But keep in mind, now I've seen, last couple of weeks, some emails start flying in. And boy, let me tell you, there's some people out there that are pretty fast. So so be ready with your finger on the email trigger there, because as soon as I release that magic number, somebody's going to fire it off within a couple seconds. So you got to be fast.
Is my wife eligible for that? She's been telling me that she's going to try to get that number in. So.
Well, I owe her 30 million already. So can I just owe her the 25 in HBAR when we pay her back the 30 million? So, so whenever that happens, we'll make sure that she gets her $25 in HBAR. She doesn't have to enter to win. She's already a winner in my book.
Sounds great.
Hi, Andrea. Yeah. So, all right. So I guess any other headlines that you want to share over the past 7 days, Brandon?
There's all kinds of stuff out there. If you guys have any questions, I can certainly get into it and give you some more details, but I think those were the big ones. Oh, wait, okay. Hellaswap launched. That was exciting to see. Last week. So now Saucer Swap has some competition. I've been playing around with that. It's there's differences, of course, with every platform, but I certainly appreciate what they're doing.
Right. Yeah, and there was I noticed that that some of the TVL, there was kind of a large shift, right, in that TVL from one platform to the other, while the other. So hopefully, though, with the addition of these, with the addition of the of additional dexes, that that we start to see more use come in, right? We don't want to just see the same pool shifting around. So
There was certainly some shifting, but overall during that transition, we saw the TVL just go up. And
Nice.
with that huge jump that we talked about last week on Stater, we have actually now eclipsed the TVL on the Cardano network.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. That is big news. And you
Yeah.
know what's so strange that's like that nobody's talking about that, you know?
It's out there. It was hitting social media. I'll see if I can get you guys a link so you can take a look as well.
I just mean in the broader crypto space, right? You know, the fact that it's, you know, again, it's you know, there's other communities out there that are tight knit like ours, and they're, you know, they're fighting for their own survival too. So it's just kind of funny to see that, you know, some of the what to us is just like groundbreaking, you know, big, huge news. And people are like, wait, Hedera? Who? You know, but at any rate, yeah. So other big news though, of course, Ledgerama, Wallawallet is finally going open beta, right? So on our newest version. So Rob and the development team and the marketing team, everybody has been super hard at work getting ready for this open beta. We are now, of course, our UI UX is vastly improved, big improvement there. A lot more, you know, basically more modern design, you know, a little bit more expected, a lot more user friendly. So, you know, but of course, it's still the safest HBAR wallet out there for mobile. You know, again, we went to great lengths to make sure that Wallawallet was bulletproof secure, and that has not changed. The same security code is being used that was audited previously. So there, you know, you can expect the same super safe, super stable wallet that you've always had. But now with, you know, of course, a little bit cooler. You know, we got our shades on. We're looking a little bit better, or a lot bit better. And you know, and of course, the big thing that we're going to share today is our support for NFTs. If people out there noticed, if you saw the emails, or if you saw some of my messaging, NFTs with superpowers, right? So all those, and basically really what we're doing here is we're supporting specs for NFTs that, to my knowledge, are not being supported by anybody else in the Hedera ecosystem. We've got full support. I know, granted, I haven't dived into Blade Wallet's support for the NFTs, but Brandon, do you know offhand, are they supporting the OpenSea spec over at Blade? Do you know if they?
I'm not sure, but I am going to be. You know how you guys did a pitch for the pitch event we did a while back? They're going to be doing a pitch event here on Thursday. We have another one. We already have 9 strong teams that are going to be doing it, and Blade's going to be in on it as well. And I know I'm going to get the CEO of Blade on for an interview as well, so I can ask some of those questions.
All right. So Rob and I were having fun, and Rob's kind of recently passed doggy Amy. We're kind of doing a little tribute to Amy the super dog, right? So she was one of the sweetest, kindest, coolest dogs I've ever hung out with. You know, Rob and I have, you know, we've hung out a number of times. We're, you know, a few states away, but we still visit each other every once in a while whenever we've got the time. And Amy was just a super sweet dog. So this is a little homage to Amy, and now Amy is being immortalized as super meta dog. Right, and we're using Amy to show off some of the superpowers that I was talking about with these NFTs. So if you would, Caitlin, go ahead and let's scroll down and take a little look-see. Okay, so we're getting a sneak peek at what Wallawallet's going to look like. I wanted to do a live demo here, but we ran into some technical issues, and you know, and live demos are notoriously iffy, right? So we have these kind of prepared. I wanted to do a nice demo where we can kind of scroll through and click through and check some of the different stuff out. But this is just one portion, right? So this is when you go to an NFT that's got superpowers supported by all these different properties. You're going to have a long scrolling page where you can check out all the different stuff that's going on with the NFT. If you could go ahead and scroll down just a little bit, you can see that you can share it, you can browse it. One of the most exciting bits, so you can also, okay, so this screen is where you can access the metadata, and you can send the NFT. So this is normally what you would see, but you've noticed you've got the little button on the right.
You should only see the metadata if you're an advanced user, though. Like if you set it up in advanced mode. Yeah.
Thank you. Right, and of course I'm always in advanced mode. So
yeah.
Right. Thanks. Yeah. Thanks for that. And you go ahead and scroll down. So this is the details, right? And as you scroll down, this is really one of the things that I get the most excited about is these multimedia files nested inside the NFTs. I mean, now if you think of your typical, what we typically see for the NFTs, your eternal JPEGs, which are awesome. We love the creators on the Hedera space. I mean, there are some super cool projects creating some really awesome things. I mean, we've got DPGC, the Dead Pixels Ghost Club. You've got Earthlings, you've got Hash Glass. I mean, there is just a multitude of awesome projects out there. But what I love to see here is the multimedia files. So unfortunately, if my live demo was working, I would click the little play button there and you would see the video of our Super Meta Dog taken off. But unfortunately, I'm not able to do that. But as you can see, multimedia files nested within the NFT here. And if you can go ahead and scroll down. And we've got descriptions, you can add links. So this is all one NFT, folks. So the Super Meta Dog, Amy Alpha, this is all within one NFT. So there are tons and tons of stuff. Creators, put your thinking caps on out there, because if you can imagine all these things, what you could do with all of these different features and properties within an NFT, I mean, sky's the limit. And this is really, in my opinion, this is really the evolution of NFTs. We are seeing it happen, and I'm just super proud of the work that Rob and our team has done developing this. I mean, I think it looks fantastic, and it's the evolution of NFTs in the space. Nobody else is doing this that I'm aware of, at least within the Hedera ecosystem. So you can see here that these are essentially like clusters of files, groups of files that can be supported. So we've got the first one as an example would be videos. So you could tap that little the little arrow button there. You could tap that in. Tap on that and you would go into a whole list of other videos that are associated with the NFT. Same thing with the photos. You tap into that and you've got a whole host of photos. And then down here at the bottom, just to show the versatility of these NFT types, right? So you can also include things like PDF files. So if you've got an NFT and you want to prove ownership of something, you want to prove that you actually own it in the real world, then you've got something like these. You've got something like PDFs, like in this case, it's the original, the AKC documentation for Amy to prove that she was a real dog and she was certified by the American Kennel Club.
It is redacted though.
It is fully redacted. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But we also support 3D models as well. And I was thinking about taking one of like her favorite toy and creating a 3D model out of that and putting that in there, but didn't get around to it. Yeah.
We are slightly coming out of stealth with Twigital. Speaking of 3D models, not completely, but yeah, and that it's an application that Jesse Damrow and I are building with a fantastic dev shop called Saison, and right here in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Awesome.
But they're doing a great job. We're getting building on it. We should have the beta out before too long. But as Rob was kind of talking about, we are going to be able to NFT pretty much any physical object into a 3D rendering, so it's going to be exciting.
Yeah. So, I'm looking for an easy way to do that. Yep.
Right. Yeah.
That'll be your answer.
Yeah, that's great.
Yeah, I mean, the number of use cases that I could think of being able to do 3D models and render those in an NFT and support those, I mean, immutably. I mean, I could think of a whole bunch of really awesome use cases. So thanks for the little drop there.
Little bit of alpha. We're not completely coming out of stealth, but a little bit.
Right. Just a little
taking
bit.
our claim.
Awesome. Yeah, and that's and we're just really proud to be able to support stuff like that. Like I said, this is the evolution of NFTs in my mind. We're starting to see, this is kind of like, the dawn, right? You're just starting to see the sun peek over the horizon. This is a dawn of a new era in NFTs and really in Web3 in general. You can go ahead and scroll down, Caitlin, just a little bit, please and thank you. All right, so this is just if you were to tap into the file, one of the file clusters up above. In this case, the PDF of the AKC document. This is what you would get. And you can of course share and browse the file. You can go ahead and scroll down a little bit for me. And then we get into the properties, right? So when I say that your NFTs have superpowers, this is what I'm talking about. So I think this is really exciting for the gaming use cases. Teams like Earthling, teams like basically any of the gaming producers out there. I mean, now you can start to see the real power of Hedera NFTs, right? You've got different categories. You can identify the rarity of certain properties. You've got rankings here, and then if you scroll down just a little bit more, Caitlin, you can see, yeah. So like with our, with our superhero, with our super meta dog, she's got bark power. She's a little dog. She's a small dog, so she's only got 50 bark powers. Not a full wheel there, but the stamina increase. And then I think the bottom one there that I didn't get a chance was loyalties, right? So her loyalty was off the charts. Super loyal. Right. So I think that's about it, Caitlin. Those are all the images. I just wanted to give a little sneak peek of some of these things, but sky's the limit here. I mean, the number of media types that we're supporting is wild. I was looking at I was going over the list. So Brandon, what was it, on Thursday, I believe it was, where we did the Twitter Spaces, and we were talking about NFTs. I had my list of the different MIME types that are supported within Wallawallet. I mean, it's a long list, and the team's just done a fantastic job of supporting all these different media types. I mean, I'm excited about it. I think it's super cool. We know that we've got a long way to go, to really be the most useful wallet within the Hedera space. We know that we've still got a ton of work to do, but we're just really appreciative of all the folks, the Walla mob out there. All the people that are still here. That trust us, know that we're working hard. We've been working hard in the Hedera ecosystem since the very beginning, and we are continuing to do so. That is not changing in anytime soon. What you got for us, Tim?
Yeah, we've got some questions flowing in from our fans.
Okay, great.
And there's one question from.
Before we do that, Tim, I'm going to take this minute. I'm going to take the opportunity to share the magic number for the week. And then we'll get into the questions. Magic number for the week. So don't forget, you take the magic number, email that to info@wallawallet.com, and the first one to fly in is going to get $25 in HBAR. The magic number this week, Rob, can you guess what it is?
Yes, I can.
247. 247 is the magic number this week. So a little insight. Version 247 of our application is giving me nothing but problems. I can't seem to get at any rate, but that's a whole other story. But it's been fun trying to get past 247 is the magic number. All right. So moving right along, Tim. All right. So what's out there in the YouTube audience? What you got for us?
Yeah, so concerning nested videos in an NFT, does merely the link nest, or does the video files store there? And are there any place for users to insert personal notes? Those are some of the questions that we are getting from the community.
Yeah, each file section has an optional block of metadata that you can put there. And so, if you're going to use the OpenC spec, I don't believe that's like specified as part of the OpenC spec, the metadata, but it is as part of the Hedera spec for HIP 412, like their none format. So Wallawallet does support that on both, right? So you can include that metadata there, where you can have like an additional description and additional text as well, for each one. And you can have multiple headings and multiple descriptions there if you want. And so, yeah, the links are basically nested. So it's the hierarchical file structure that's in the JSON format. When you have an object and then it has an array, and that array is an array of other objects, and each one of those file objects can be nested inside other ones. So as you're navigating on the device, you can traverse that tree, that hierarchy, down, and then come back up. So it's possible to have 100 levels deep if you want, but if you really want people to get lost in your NFT, but. Yeah.
That would be, you just kind of gave me an interesting idea for NFTs. I mean, you talk about people getting lost. With, I mean, you could have you could gamify that and have some kind of like a maze almost, where you're going through the NFTs and almost like a scavenger hunt, right? Or you're going through the NFT and going through different sections and try and and get different clues. So at any rate, I mean, it's pretty incredible the amount of files that you can, and how complicated and convoluted you could get with these NFTs. Is there a limit on the space? Like, what's the upper bounds of the number of files that you could nest into one of these NFTs? Is there an upper bound?
Yeah, I didn't see one mentioned in the spec, so I'm sure there's, a point where the structure will get too big, but I mean, really, if whatever you can store on your IPFS file system, I guess, if you want to store it on IPFS or on a web server somewhere, you might have performance issues, of course, the larger the file.
Right, yeah, and that is something that that's going to be an ongoing battle. to really kind of dial in the performance on with IPFS, NFT storage. I mean, there's a whole host of ways that you can access these NFTs and store them. So of course, the larger the media file you get, of course, you can run into some performance issues depending on the way that it's set up. But that's something that we're working on really dialing in, and I'd like to get to the point where we're setting some standards in that arena as well.
Well, I mean, I agree. Large files like huge movies stored on IPFS, even if it's on a pretty fast gateway, the large files are going to take a while, I think, to come down, as opposed to putting them on a web server. So on my NFT, the Amy NFT, we have the videos in the video section are hosted on our web server, so they're going to, they should come up more quickly. Of course, YouTube links, should perform pretty well, but one's hosted on IPFS. We're using the NFT storage gateway now, which seems to perform better than all the other ones that I've tested. So it's, their free gateway there, but we'll have to keep an eye on that space and see in the future whether or not we need to switch gateways. But yeah, we've had quite a few technical challenges with getting all of these, multimedia formats and files supported on both devices, Android and iOS. Currently, the version that's out there for public beta has an issue for the media player on the Android devices, but that was just fixed today or last night. So our developer fixed it. I'm merging the changes. I'm going to have a new build shortly. So the biggest problems are going to be resolved for the beta and production going forward, with the exception of one issue now, which seems to be holding me back, and it's a Hedera related issue. So the problem is that Hedera is removing support for tokens from their mainnet nodes for the token balances, and it's called HIP 367, and was supposed to go away. But now Greg Scullard from Swirls Labs told us last week that it's not going to go away until all mirror nodes support it. And at that point, there'll be a 6-month period where we can get rid of them. However, the problem is that the Golang SDK has already removed those tokens, token balances. And what that means is we're relying on mirrored nodes that don't have the latest code to refresh the balances quickly. So there's a 15-minute delay on tokens. If you send a token or a token gets sent to you, you could wait up to 15 minutes before you see it in your portfolio. And also, there's only a limit of being able to get 50 tokens too. So even though they support unlimited tokens on the nodes, the mirror node query that we're using now doesn't support that yet. That's something that they're still working on and is not out there yet. So they're telling us to go back to use the old mainnet balances. However, we can't do that because we need the newer SDKs that support these new features that we're using in Wallawallet. So we're going to have to wait on them to provide us with an SDK, a Golang SDK that brings back the token balance features so that we can get that. So there's some question whether or not we should go into production until that happens. So we're going to have to talk to Swirls and Hedera and figure that out.
Right. So that's a little bit in the weeds on the technical side, but we definitely, but that doesn't mean that, that we're not ready to test, right? So we're going to be providing the links to the open beta, both for Android and iOS. There's plenty of, we send out an email blast that had the links in there. You can check out our README. Please check out the README at beta.wallawallet.com. And that's also got the links in there, so you can learn a little bit more about how the open beta is going to proceed. But we're really excited. I mean, this has been an incredible amount of work, and we want to get as much feedback as we can, especially the NFT creators out there, really everybody, but NFT creators, anybody that can take a look at this thing, hit it with a hammer, see how it moves, see what happens, and give us that feedback. And so the Super Metadog NFT, right? So there is a limited number of those. There's a very small limited number of those, and we are going to be giving those to people that help us with the open beta, closed beta. So people that give us feedback, you can expect to get one of our Super Metadog NFTs. And this is going to be so that's just the alpha version, right? That was just kind of Rob and I goofing around. We made a silly little image, and just to kind of get it out there, to run some tests and see how the wallet performed. But that's going to be an ongoing little series, and for folks that help us out, of course, we're going to give you one of our very special Amy Super Metadog NFTs, and we're contemplating doing some interesting utility stuff with that as well for the early adopters. So so keep your ears open, stay tuned, and and we look forward to hearing all of your feedback out there. So Tim, my man, so my favorite part of the show, we're going to do some more giveaways. I saw the emails flying in with the magic numbers. So folks that have sent in the emails with the magic number for the week to get your $25 in HBAR, stay tuned and look for an email from us regarding that, and we'll make sure that we get you your $25 in HBAR ASAP. But for our Twitter family out there that's gunning for the 10,000 jam tokens, Who have we got? Who have we got as a winner this week, Tim?
We've got at Investology. One Investology will make the formal announcement again on Twitter, and make sure your 10,000 jam tokens get to you.
Awesome. Investology, that is a handle that I recognize. So congratulations, Investology, on winning your 10,000 jam tokens. We'll be reaching out to you ASAP. And don't forget, so beta.wallawallet.com if you want to catch the README. We'll be sharing the links to the Android and the iOS beta in the video description. And anybody, of course, you're welcome to reach out to us. We're always available on Telegram and Discord and email. There's a lot of different ways you can get a hold of us. So is there anything else out there? Is there anything I'm forgetting to tell people, Rob? I feel like I may be forgetting something, but of course, we're going to be doing this again next week, like we do every week. We're going to have another great guest. I think we're going to do part 2 of the Lehman Swap series. So we talked to Lehman Swap a few weeks ago, and we're going to bring them back and
Cool.
talk a little bit more about their platform. But really appreciate everybody being here. So it's been another great, been another great alternative money live stream. So thanks everybody for being here. Again, my name is Jeremy with Ledgerama. We got our community manager, Tim Mungai, our CTO, lead developer, Wallawallet, Rob Keynes, Caitlin Lance from Creative Coast, where we create, code, and collide, and Brandon the HBAR Bull. Appreciate all you joining us. Appreciate everybody out in the YouTube audience. Stay tuned, stay in touch, and we'll talk to you next week. Thanks, everybody.